Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Dinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this portion of the Bhagavatam, we are seeing Kapila Muni explaining the different gradations of living entities, starting from those with different kinds of sense perceptions developed, and among all of them, those with like say multi-legged, among them four-legged, and then finally human beings. So human beings are better than compared to all other species. So this was explained. After that, among human beings, who is the greatest? In the outside world we see different parameters they have got to they give different awards in different fields, different countries, different things they have to assess, and they call by different names. But here we see the highest authority, Kapila Muni, the Supreme Lord Himself, He is stating, among human beings, who is the greatest? Just we'll have a small recap of the previous two verses, so that we can appreciate what is Kapila Muni telling here now. So among human beings who are known as Dvipad, meaning two-legged animals or whatever, human beings, they are the greatest compared to all other species. Among humans, the Chatvara Varnaha, the society divided based on like say four divisions of the society, a society wherein these four divisions are made, that is something superior. And even in those four divisions, a Brahmana, he is considered to be superior, great. And among Brahmanas, the Vedagnya, those who have studied the Vedas, even among Brahmanas who have studied Vedas properly, he is something superior or great. And among the Vedagnyas, the Arthagnya, who knows the purport of the Vedas. Because there are many Brahmanas who have read Vedas, but they don't know the conclusion, the purpose of the Vedas. So those who know this, they are something superior, Arthagnya. Up to this point, even though a person would have elevated up to this Arthagnya, knows the purport of the Vedas, as per the Vaishnava literatures, still he is considered a Kanishtadhikari. Why? Because though he may know the purport of the Vedas, still he is still Kanishtadhikari until and unless he raises himself to the next level, which is Samshayat Cheta, who can dissipate doubts. Referring to a Madhyamadhikari, a preacher who preaches, who can dissipate the doubts of others. So he is something superior than the person who just knows the purpose of the Vedas. And that's still not yet the highest. Compared to him, still superior is Swakarmakrit, who follows the Vaishnava principles, who knows what to do, what not to do, how to behave, everything. So he is considered still superior. Not just preaching, but oneself. He also, whatever, like we were hearing about, like the Acharya, Achara and Prachar, both are there. He is still superior. And then superior to him, Mukta Sangaha, who is liberated from material contamination. And the highest is Adogdha, a pure devotee who renders devotional service without expectation of any reward. He does not render anything for self-interest, with some motivation, without expectation of any reward. He performs his devotional service. He is the highest. So this was told up to the previous verse. So here Kapila Muni, he is explaining the characteristics that person who renders devotional service to the Supreme Lord without expectation of any reward. What are his other features? That is explained in today's verse. Tasman mai arpita ashesha kriya artha atma nirantaraha. That devotee, he mai arpita, he offers unto me. What does he offer? Ashesha. Ashesha means everything or all, completely he offers. Three things: Kriya, Artha and Atma. Kriya meaning actions. All of his actions are dedicated for the satisfaction, for the service of the Supreme Lord. And then Artha. Artha is translated here as wealth. Whatever one possesses, he offers to the Supreme Lord completely. And then Atma, not just his activities, not just his possessions, but he himself, he offers completely. So here for Atma, Prabhupada translates as life and also as soul. One offers his life completely to the Supreme Lord, offers his soul to the Supreme Lord. So this is Ashesha Kriya Artha Atma. And how does does this? Nirantaraha, without cessation, always. Because just like in the soulful japa sessions we were hearing, the spirit soul, there is the kriya chesta, the ability or the activity, like to perform some activity, that is an impetus for the soul to continuously perform, involve himself in certain activities. So the soul, the spirit soul, always is active, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and continuously he performs whatever activities, and all of those activities continuously he offers it to the Supreme Lord. Nirantara. So tasman mai arpita ashesha kriya atma kriya artha atma nirantaraha. So same thing, again it is repeated in a different way. Mai arpita atmanaha pumso mai sanyasta karmanaha. So arpita atmanaha pumsaha mai sanyasta karmanaha. All his activities are simply dedicated for the Supreme Lord. His life, his mind, his soul is just offered to the Supreme Lord. Na pashyami param bhutam akartu samadarsanat. I don't find na pashyami param bhutam among all human beings, among all the varieties of species. I do not find any other great person than he who has offered his entire life, activities, mind, everything, constantly offers it unto me. There is no one superior to him. Na pashyami param bhutam akartuhu samadarsanat. He is akartuhu, without proprietorship, and samadarsanat, whose vision is same. Same means referring to same as the Supreme Lord. So these are the varieties of qualities which of a pure devotee, the greatest of all human beings. Now in the purport, let us see few points Prabhupada stresses and explains. The first thing, Samadarshanat. He no longer has any separate interest. So this is the meaning given by Prabhupada in the purport for the word Samadarshanat. He no longer has any separate interest. The Lord's interest is the interest of his devotee. He doesn't have any other interest separate of the Supreme Lord. One example Srila Prabhupada gives. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He preached Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. He traveled throughout the country, different places, and wherever he went, Yare Deka Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. He gave the teachings of Lord Krishna. He made people to chant the holy name of Krishna. And why did he do this? Because Krishna wanted this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though he was the Supreme Lord himself, he was acting as his devotee. Because Krishna wanted this. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavratah. Kataya, all these things, whatever, always my devotees, they are engaged in chanting my glories, my names, things related to me. So, same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also telling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not telling chant my name, he says chant Krishna's name. Krishna also wants this. So here this is Samadarsanat, having no separate interest. A devotee has no separate interest. Whatever the Lord wants, same thing he says, he repeats, or he does. So here we should be careful. Prabhupada warns here, for the same word Samadarsanat, the impersonalist Mayavadis, they give a different meaning. What do they say? Samadarshana means myself and the Supreme Lord are equal, one and the same. But no, this is not the understanding, this is not the meaning. If at all we consider even slightly that I, myself and the Supreme Lord are one, are same, whatever, then where is the question of service there? If at all devotional service needs to be there, three things are required, Prabhupada mentions. Which are they? If anyone remembers. Sevak, Sevya or the Lord, and Seva or service. Again I repeat. Sevya or the Supreme Lord, Sevaka or the servitor or the devotee, and Seva, service. Bhakti or devotion means these three things should be there. If any person considers himself on an equal level with the Supreme Lord or one with the Supreme Lord, then there is no question of rendering service or whatever. No. The Supreme Lord, He is the Master. We are all His part and parcels. Our eternal occupation is to serve Him. We use the different paraphernalia, ingredients available in the Lord's creation. We take that, we understand that yes, He is the ultimate proprietor of all of these things. We take it and offer it to the Supreme Lord back. Render service. So this is seva. So the Lord, He has given each living entity different abilities. Shri Krishna Balarama ki jai. He has given each and every living entity different abilities. He has made available different kinds of paraphernalias in the outside world. So for this living entity, there is this option. So all those different ingredients, objects of the senses, he can use it for his personal purpose also. But no, a devotee, considering or understanding all of these things belongs to him. So he takes that, uses that in rendering service to the Lord. So this is seva. If not any other thing, he just simply chants the holy name of the Supreme Lord with whatever the speaking ability, what he has got. He chants, vibrates the Lord's holy name and tries to hear it. Uses all of his senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. So this is like there is sevya through all of these activities, and the intention is to please the Supreme Lord. And I am that sevaka who offers those things, and the offering is known as seva, service. Now, let me tell you one story of, like mentioned in the Bhagavatam, of Nabhaga. Nabhaga is the son of Nabhaga Maharaja, descendants coming from Vaivasvata Manu. And actually Nabhaga is the father of Ambarisha Maharaja. Ambarisha Maharaja's father, Nabhaga. He, like here we are seeing all these qualities of Samadarshanath and then Akartuhu, without any sense of proprietorship. So there is a story mentioned in the Bhagavatam through which we can understand what is the consciousness of a devotee, how he performs his activity without any sense of proprietorship, without any interest separate from the Supreme Lord. So here, in the story of the great king Nabhaga along with his other brothers, they were all sent to Gurukula. They were there in their teacher's place. Their father had sent, father is Nabhaga, he had sent them to Gurukula. They stayed there for many years, and this son Nabhaga, he stayed there in Gurukula for an extended period of time. All his other brothers, they went back after their schooling, their learning. Quickly they went back to the palace of their father. But this son Nabhaga, he continued his stay for some more days in the place of his spiritual master. And after all of his, whatever his finishing his learning, when he went back to his father's place, by then all of his other brothers had divided the father's property and they were ruling over. And now they were thinking, this son, this brother Nabhaga, he'll not come back, he'll stay there or whatever, he is interested in some other things, so he's not there, so let us divide our father's property and share amongst ourselves, and everything is done. And they have done it, did it. Now after many days, their brother, this Nabhaga, comes back and he asks for his share of his father's property. So all of those other brothers are all cunning. They say, okay, our father's property we have shared, so as your share we have kept our father. So you can take our father, take care of him, the property we will take care, you take care of, as your share we have kept our father as your share, so you take him. And this Nabhaga, he did not retaliate. He thought, okay, you have kept my share as my father, okay, well and good, I'll take my father and be with him. But his father was very morose. He could clearly make out his brothers have cheated him. But what to do? Already like everything is done, and his father now he doesn't have whatever say there. And the sons, there different reasons are there. But he was very morose. What to do? These other brothers, they have cheated him. They are telling, I am your share, and whatever, they are not giving you your share of the property. Okay, the father felt little compassionate towards this innocent son Nabhaga, and he says, okay, go to such and such place at such and such time. The descendants of, I think it's Bhrigu Muni, they come there and they'll perform great sacrifice there. So in their performance of sacrifice, descendants of Bhrigu Muni, a lot of different kinds of ingredients, very costly paraphernalia, everything they use for their sacrifice. And after that sacrifice, they will go back, leaving all the things there. So you go there and you collect those things for your maintenance. Okay. Again, what the father is telling. So he goes there and he assists them all. As his father told, in that place, at that point of time, the descendants of Bhrigu Muni came and performed elaborate sacrifice. He assisted them, and after all of those things, they went back, leaving behind all varieties of whatever paraphernalia there. So, as his father had suggested, he went ahead to collect them, to take them. So when he was collecting them, there came one person with wearing a deer skin, with matted locks and with a dark complexion, wearing some ashes on his body and all of these features. And he came there and he says, who are you? All these things belongs to me. You cannot touch it without my permission. But Nabhaga, he says, no, my father told, this is what he suggested to me. So to bring all of these things back, to take all of these things. No, again go to your father and check with him. Does it really belong to you now, or it belongs to me, or whom does it belong to? Okay, Nabhaga agreed, again came back to his father. And whatever happened, he explained to his father. So I waited for all the sacrifice, everything to get over. And this person, dark complexion person wearing a deer skin or all these things, the features he explained. So he came and he comes and says that everything belongs to me. He is claiming proprietorship of all of the paraphernalia there. What should I do now? Then the father could understand. Yes, actually I did not know. This place, it belongs to Lord Shiva. And all of these things, yes, actually it belongs to Lord Shiva. So it is Lord Shiva who has come there and who has claimed that all these things belongs to him. So you don't touch it, give it to him. So again Nabhaga goes back. Okay, my father told all these things belongs to you, take it. So Lord Shiva was very pleased with this devotee Nabhaga. He says, no, I won't take, you take it. And along with that, Lord Shiva blessed him with complete transcendental knowledge. So this is a pastime we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, how the great devotees, these qualities we can see. Samadarshanat, he doesn't have separate interest of his own. Akartuhu, he doesn't have any sense of proprietorship, and this belongs to me. If his father says, yes, it belongs to me, okay, take it. Then again he goes back to his father, he says, no, it doesn't belong to you, okay, give it back. He doesn't have any sense of proprietorship. Something comes on its own, he is ready to accept. If it is not there, well and good. If something is there, yes, use it in the service of the Lord. This is the attitude, mood of a devotee. So here, in explaining this, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, a devotee is without any sense of proprietorship. He is akartuhu. Everyone wants to act as the proprietor of his actions so that he can enjoy the result. So this is how the material world, things are going on, we work hard, we want to get some result and we want to enjoy that result for our own self, for our own sense gratification. But a devotee acts because the personality of Godhead wants him to act in a particular way. He has no personal motive. A devotee also works. He performs activity, but not for gaining objects for his sense gratification. He acts simply for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, as per the directions given by the Supreme Lord. This is how a devotee acts. He doesn't have any personal motive, something to gain for himself. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want people to call him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worship him, but he wanted everyone to chant Lord's holy name. See, this is a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the role of a devotee, he wanted all people to chant the Lord's holy name, nothing for himself. So, even this we find in the life of Srila Prabhupada also. Many places, Prabhupada, whenever he was glorified, that you have done such a wonderful thing, you have built so many temples, so many people's life you have transformed, and whatever, so many whatever glories of Prabhupada we know. But Prabhupada was so humble. Every time, whenever these things were told to him, he used to just say that all of these things happened just by the blessings of my spiritual master. If at all any credit is there, I followed the instructions of my spiritual master as he had given. That credit belongs to me. Otherwise, all these successes, whatever property or name, fame and everything, it actually belongs to my spiritual master. This is a devotee. And two more points Prabhupada covers in the purport. Mai sanyasta karmanaha. The devotee works, but he works for the Supreme. He never does anything for his personal account, but does everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Mai sanyasta karmanaha. He works, but the result is for the Lord, not for me. We find in the example of Arjuna, how he fought over great battle. But why? The reason? Because Lord Krishna wanted it. Hanuman, he crossed over, jumped to Lanka, such whatever wonderful feats he did. Arjuna, Hanuman, not the activities what they did, it's not something ordinary. They were so much involved in activity, but the purpose, not their own sense gratification, but the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So this is Mai Sanyasta Karmanaha. And finally, Mai Arpitatmanaha. Prabhupada translates it like this. He gives his mind unto me. Mai Arpita Atmanaha. Atmanaha is translated here as mind. He gives his mind unto me. So sufficiently we have heard this in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Krishna says, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Fight thinking of me. You think of me and fight. And then in various other places, Yena Kena Prakarena Manaha Krishne Niveshayet, Rupa Goswami says, somehow or the other, engage the mind in things related to the Supreme Lord, His form, His activities, His service, His qualities, His various transcendental leelas, things related to Him. The mind should be absorbed in things connected with the Supreme Lord. In fact, this is said to be the highest the supreme instruction we find in all the Vedic literature. Smartavya satatam Vishnor Vismartavyo nadatu chit Sarve vidhi nishedasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. All other instructions are subservient to this supreme instruction, which is that always think of Krishna, never forget Krishna. So great devotees we see, just like Ambarisha, about Ambarisha Maharaj also it is explained, Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravindayor. His mind was fixed at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So these are all, this is how we can understand, Mai Arpita Atmanaha. He gives his mind unto me. So these are all the various qualities of a pure devotee who is engaged 100% in the service of the Lord. He doesn't have any sense of proprietorship. All of his activities, his mind, his life and soul, everything is just dedicated for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. We'll conclude with this. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,